The Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers, obviously Super Bowl champions usually don't have a ton of needs, but when I looked at this team in the offseason, I didn't see much of anything that they needed. With a team like that, is it really just BPA, or is it go for, looking in towards the future? And how do you think that they did with their plan?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. I mean, you got to go best player available, but if the best player available is receiver, and in the case of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you don't need a receiver. You're not taking one early, except maybe if you feel you're going to lose Chris Evans after the 2020 season, but somehow the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are able to weave magic, and they don't seem to lose anybody. So really, I think the Buccaneers draft was made in the offseason when they were able to bring everybody back, which no one thought was possible. If you're able to follow that, more power to you. But anyway, they needed a pass rusher. I mentioned Peyton Turner at the end of round one. He wasn't there, so they went with Joe Tryon, who I think is a good fit for the system. I had Tryon graded a little bit later, but this is what a Super Bowl team does. They take risks like this. Tryon's got a tremendous amount of upside. He showed flashes of dominance in 2019, opted out last year. He's got a high upside, but he's not there yet. And again, when you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you're not relying on Joe Tryon to come in on an every down basis, or even an every down passing basis, to be your edge rusher. You can pick and choose his spots and help him come along. I thought Kyle Trask in round two was a sensational pick. I believe I had Kyle Trask mocked to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in my final mock draft, one of the few picks I got right. But I think it's a perfect fit there. I mean, he gets to develop behind Tom Brady. He plays the Bruce Arians type of system. He's more of your pocket passer, which is what Arians like, which is what Tom Brady is. He's a smart guy, which is what Tom Brady is, which is what Arians like. He's an accurate passer. I think this guy checks all the boxes. And again, he's going to play behind Tom Brady for at least a year, probably 2 years. Robert Hainsey of Notre Dame, I think, adds depth to the offensive line. Jalen Darden of North Texas, I think, was an interesting fourth-round pick. He's a slot receiver who'll do an outstanding job as a return specialist. I think he can make it as a number 5 receiver. KJ Britt, more of a two-down run defender. The fifth-round pick, Chris Wilcox of Brigham Young, guy who I think is probably destined for the practice squad. He's big, he's physical, he's fast, but he's got to develop his game. And then they come with Mr. Irrelevant, Grant Stewart, the last pick of the draft, the linebacker from Houston, the guy who plays like his hair's on fire. Wouldn't surprise me if Grant Stewart makes the Tampa Bay active roster, more so as a special teams demon, more so as your coverage unit's gunner, a guy that just flies down the field and sacrifices his body on kick and punt returns. I thought it was a terrific job by a team that not only won the Super Bowl, but brought everybody back. Hats off to the Buccaneers and their fans.
Yeah, the ability for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to go out and actually get all their guys back was unbelievable to me. Are there any UDFA signings that really jump out to you for the Bucs?
Well, Jose Borregales of Miami, a lot of people thought that he was the best kicker in the draft. I did not. But I still had him as draftable, gave him a draftable grade. I don't know that he's going to make the Tampa Bay Buccaneers roster. I think he will make some teams' roster next year, whether it's the Buccaneers or otherwise. I also like Lawrence White of Iowa State. Again, a guy who maybe he makes the roster. If he doesn't make the roster, he's a practice squad guy, someone who wasn't even graded by scouts. But if you watch the Iowa State film the past 2 years, White was a guy who was constantly around the ball, making positive plays. Good run defender, solid against in coverage between the numbers, facing the action. You're looking at him as your fourth safety, special teams type of guy.